those in favour, sorry. Any opposed? No, thank you. Welcome, Mayor. And now we next have our public input item. We have Jackie and Morris from the Moths and Butterflies of New Zealand Trust. Kia ora to you both. If you just want to, Morris, if you're speaking as well, if you want to bring that microphone closer to you, and then if you do want to talk, you hit the button on the right, and then when you stop talking, hit it again. Thank you both for coming in.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Yes, I'm Jackie Knight. I'm the founding trustee of the Moths and Butterflies of New Zealand Trust. And with me I have Morris Malhopt, our chair, and apologies from Mark Bateman, who could not be here today. Firstly, what is a butterfly centre? Everybody loves butterflies, but it's more like an environmental centre, such as Kaipatiki Eco Hub, which I've seen running. And it would be a tourist destination and also a destination from schools. I used to work for Duffy Books and Homes, and when I was visiting schools, I saw how many of them wanted to come to Auckland and were coming to Auckland and weren't sure of what they could do. They wanted to learn about butterflies, but this would be a facility for them. 93% of our Lepidoptera are only found in New Zealand. Lepidoptera are butterflies and moths. We are rich in Lepidoptera. It's an important component of our native birds' diet. And also there are more moths in New Zealand than all native bird and mammal species. Our National Butterfly Centre could be fun for all ages. We're working with Settlers Lifestyle Village, where the people, the residents there, are inspired to do things for butterflies. We've got a small butterfly house at Mercy Hospice, which is a wonderful facility for both the patients there and also the families. They tell me wonderful things when I go there. And of course in schools, every school, at least every second year, does a butterfly unit. So they're really wonderful places to learn more about being a good citizen, about biodiversity. There's nothing like this in New Zealand. We have 2 tropical butterfly centres, and we also have a monarch butterfly garden out at West Lynn in New Lynn. But I have seen them, I've visited many butterfly centres in America, USA, and I know that there are some successful stories in South East Australia, and they are all financially viable. We've done a sustainability concept on it. This was our original building concept. We looked at a site at Tui Glen in Henderson, and it was a year of negotiating with staff, and finally we were told, well, we couldn't build it there, although we'd been told we could, but it's the wrong sort of reserve, it has the wrong classification. So since then, after our wonderful architect came up with this design, you can see the monarch caterpillar there, and of course the butterfly wings as well. So after we come up with the design, we've been looking at other possible sites. There are a lot of disused bowling clubs in Auckland, and a lot of them are being converted, but I hear the same story every time. They can't grow food on the bowling greens because of all the pesticide that's in the subsoil. However, we wouldn't be growing food. So that's one advantage we would have over using a disused bowling club. This was the site plan of the design for Tui Glen, and you can see there that, well, it's hard to see, I guess, but Carolyn Smith, the architect, had done a great job of utilising the floodplain there. So when we transfer that to a piece of paper, our centre would be connected to an open garden where people could come at any time to see what was going on. There'd also be an enclosed area where we could protect the butterfly species from pests, and also a secure area where we could grow stinging nettle, for example. Stinging nettle is the host plant for our beautiful red admiral butterfly. And the Moths and Butterflies of New Zealand Trust is currently reintroducing that butterfly species to Auckland because it has been lost since the aerial spraying in the early 2000s. Also, there are endangered species of butterfly that we could raise in that area as well. Then there would be a teaching area for groups of 30 to 40, so that could be used on any initiative like composting or growing seedlings, as well as butterflies, of course. Then there would be facilities for the Butterflies Trust and a lab and a propagation space. And then the roof would be used for water catchment and also solar power. So what we would like from this committee is we would like you to be aware of what we're trying to do. Originally there was interest from corporates in funding the whole project, and we recently went before the Auckland Conservation Board, and everyone there was very supportive. So thank you for your time.
Kia ora. Thank you, Jackie and Morris. Yeah, very exciting proposal, and we have a number of questions. First of all, Deputy Mayor.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks for your presentation. What's your relationship like with Butterfly Creek? Because isn't that a destination for people to look at butterflies and...
Yes, that's correct. They're all tropical butterflies. So they're all brought into New Zealand as pupa, and then the butterflies emerge and fly around, and they're inspiring, but they're not New Zealand's butterflies. None of them are our native butterflies. If you'd like to see our native butterflies, we have a wonderful photography exhibition as part of the Auckland Photography Festival, and it's on right now at Kinder House, Wednesday to Sunday in the afternoons.
So just to follow up, if I may, would you not talk to them and ask if they could add a New Zealand butterfly section to what they're doing? I'm just trying to find a solution that...
We do have a good relationship with them, and we've tried to encourage them, for example, to plant stinging nettle where it won't be available, accessible by the public, but they're not interested, so they've got other ideas for their land there.
Good, thank you. Councillor Walker.
Sure. Great.
Hi again.
Yeah, good to see you, Jackie. How about the zoo? Have you had any interaction with them? I don't know.
Yeah, we do talk with the zoo, but they're aware of what we're trying to do, so nothing's come through from there.
They don't have any space that could be available?
No, not as far as I know. We have discussed it with them in the past, and they were talking about doing something similar, but once again, it would still be part of the zoo and it wouldn't give us the possibility of having our headquarters there and doing our own thing as well.
Thank you, Councillor. Deputy Chair, Councillor Dalton.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. It's beautiful. I've got 3 questions for you. Just a couple of suggestions around places to go. I wondered if the Botanic Gardens was an opportunity for you, particularly with the land that they've recently purchased. So I don't know if that's a conversation we can help you with.
I've been speaking to,
Yeah?
I've been speaking with Jack Hobbs about that, but no, he suggested another site over the North Shore, which once again would be very close to Kaipatiki Eco Hub, so we would be competing for the same audience. And yeah, the site was all wrong, so yeah, I'm talking to Jack.
My second site was out south as well, and that was on Tortura Park. So there's lots of different parts of land out there in Tortura
Excellent.
Park, and we have had other organisations wanting to put venues on there. I just wondered if that was an opportunity we could
I
explore.
haven't looked at that one, no.
Okay. I'll follow up on that for you.
Thank you, Angela.
My second question was, did your organisation put in a submission to the Fast Track Bill?
Yes, we did.
Fantastic. Have you had an opportunity to speak to it?
No, we haven't. I heard that they had so many people speaking that they were losing on space, and the man who was going to be speaking was up in the Alps somewhere looking for butterflies at the time, so couldn't do it.
I'll have a look for your submission, thank you. And my last question was, what impacts are you seeing on moths and butterflies with the changing climate that we're experiencing?
There's no evidence out there, but I was just received an email 2 days ago from somebody over Meadowbank who's saying that they're not seeing any butterflies. Most people get in touch with me and say butterflies and they mean monarch butterflies. Morris will confirm this, that I have not had a monarch butterfly fly into my garden this year. I have male monarch butterflies waiting for females to come because females will smell a milkweed or a swan plant from 2 kilometres away and come to that garden to lay eggs, and they haven't been in my garden this year. It seems to be the same situation right out to New Lynn, Henderson and Hillsborough, and probably even further afield, but I'm getting contact from people telling me all the time that this is happening. Morris is in Ponsonby. He can speak for himself, but he says the same thing.
It's really interesting.
We can't put it down. There's no way we can measure what is happening, but I'm very concerned for what is happening.
Thank you for that, and thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yes, I would encourage, as Councillor Dalton has said, to speak to more local boards around opportunities, because I think once you've got a practical site or proposal area, I think it'll be easier to then get funding. It's probably hard to do it the other way if you don't know where you might be. But I think continuing with Councillor Walker's suggestion on the zoo and Councillor Dalton's suggestion on botanic gardens, just because there could be partnerships maybe close by, or land, you could share expertise. I think it might just be, thinking how you could build those connections in, because it's like with our sports organisations and facilities now, we're trying to, combine uses and get things together, so we're not just replicating buildings everywhere with, the same toilets or kitchen facilities, etc. It could be ways to share. But I understand you want to have your own building and space as well, so I understand that need, but sometimes you might get looked upon for funding easier if you have a partnership. But thank you both for coming in, and thank the organisation and your members as well. So would you like to move that, Councillor Dalton? I think Councillor Walker would like to second. All those in favour? Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, the next is local board input. I did have a request from Chair Sage from the Waitemata Local Board with concerns around the Lees Institute building. I have suggested that the Waitemata Local Board comes to the July meeting when we are considering the regional work program of the Capital Works program. I also just wanted to clarify, because I had realised in the recent days that there's a bit of a campaign out there and none of that had been coming to me. So the issue has been that through the Mayor's conversations with government, they're looking to potentially, we don't know if they will, change the rules around seismic strengthening. And there was a request through the mayoral proposal and through the LTP that we pause seismic projects. What I have done subsequently is meet with the Mayor's office and staff, because I believed there was a number of projects, much like the Lees Institute, the Nathan Homestead, the Remuera Library, those sorts of projects that are well underway, have long processes behind them. Lees Institute has far more budgets connected to it that are not just related to seismic. It's a very important historic heritage building. There's community concerns. The Waitemata Local Board have also selling properties and trying to find as much funding to support that. So just so you know, from my perspective and the staff's perspective, the Lees Institute will still be coming to July with a recommendation to continue as proposed. Obviously, I can't guarantee the committee will support that, but obviously I will be supporting that. So that's after discussion with the Mayor's office last week. So just want everyone to not be too worried that is not, a stopped project at this stage. We'll wait to July, but just so you know, I'll be proposing and the staff will be proposing that will continue as proposed, the Lees Institute. So I had heard a few articles yesterday that seemed very concerned about that the budget was gone and it was over, and that's not the case from my perspective. But Chair Sage and Kia ora, Alan, they may come to the July meeting just to reinforce that view. Cool. So just thought I would get that out after some flurry of emails last night and this morning. Right, we move on to extraordinary items. There are no extraordinary items. And item 8, we have allocation